Welcome to Heroes Rising, hosted by Sifu Rafael, a master instructor, public speaker, and the founder of Speaking Prowess. Known for his expertise in empowering individuals through the art of communication and leadership. Alongside him is co-host Jose Escobar, an acclaimed personal development speaker, 18-time published author, and founder of 2 thriving businesses, including the Connected Leaders Academy. Together, they bring you dynamic conversations with world-class entrepreneurs, industry icons, and visionaries. Heroes Rising is your go-to source for wisdom, motivation, and unstoppable growth. Join us and discover the hero within you.
Coach Tio Clay, my brother. Listen, thank you so much for stepping in. I know that Jose had a last minute thing he had to take care of, but man, you know how to step up for sure. How you doing today?
I don't know, somehow it booted my sound, Sifu. Can you hear me at all?
Can, yes, sir. Yes,
Because
sir.
I can't hear anything, bro. And
You want to take
these
them
different
off and just
streams.
do your regular?
I'm gonna go out and come right back in, bro. So I can't
All
hear
right, let's do
anything.
that. While you do that, I'm going to bring out guests in. Go for it. All right. Philip and LS. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Hi. So ordinary people, extraordinary impact. Wow. You guys are definitely not ordinary. That's for sure.
I've never been ordinary.
Yeah, I don't know
Either.
if that's anybody's mold here, but I just thought it'd be an interesting topic, right? Because people like ordinary people. I'm one of those, or I would never be one of those. I think it's our actions that makes us extraordinary, and then we do extraordinary impact, right?
For sure.
Talk to me about why you immediately said, I am not ordinary.
Oh my goodness. My whole life, I've never fit in. I've always been on the outskirts in one way or another. Whether that's as a kid being the kid that everybody picked on, nobody wanted to be around. I was the kid that ran for my life when the bell rang. I was beat up and bullied, and life growing up was a living hell for me. I didn't have friends. I was always the outcast. So then into my adult years, as I began to learn some things, God began to build confidence back in me. Things began to change, and I still never felt like I really fit in. I was always different. I had a little bit of a edge or a chip on my shoulder. I never felt like I was a part of the in crowd. I was always kind of on the outskirts looking in. So that kind of developed into what I do now, which is I want to help other people sit on the outskirts and be different and be better and live their purpose, to stop being ordinary. So that's kind of a little bit of a progression of my life.
Yeah. It's very interesting that word ordinary, because I've never met an ordinary person ever. I got to tell you, but just that alone, I figured that would trigger someone or something to say, I may have to take a look at this show. LS, tell us about why you say you're not ordinary.
Well, I think I am ordinary, and I think everybody is. So the very first book I wrote with a publisher was called Modern Day Miracles Experienced by Ordinary People. Because every day there are miracles, and a lot of times we look at them and they go, oh, a miracle could never happen to me. That wasn't a miracle, but they really are. I like Philip, was always outcast. I was shorter than kids in school, 3 years younger than me. I was very skinny, very, very shy. We moved constantly. fact, we moved 6 times my second grade. I only remember 2 days from second grade. First day I arrived, there was another boy that was there who also was from the school I just came from. So we sit in the back row and held hands together because we were so afraid, and we needed comfort from each other. 2 weeks later, he starts yelling at me because I said, we have to move. We're moving again. He goes, no, you can't leave me. And he was so angry at me. And I thought, why? I don't have anything to do with it. So it was a little traumatic. And I realized that people experience loss and change differently.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, maybe I've never been ordinary. I've always been a little different. and looking at life differently. My mom had this great saying that actually a lot of parents in that time, that era, said, is what will people think? So one time I told her what I thought they would think, because that's what I thought. She goes, oh, nobody would think that. And I'm like, oh, then is there something wrong with me because I'm thinking that? Never said it out loud. That's stuff I internalized. She said it to my sister one time, and my sister said, I don't care what they think. This is my life, and I'm going to live it the way I want to. And I thought, how brave.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Coach Theo, when you get a chance, also put your information in the chat, because I have it for Unified Leadership, but I don't have it here. And I want to throw it across when you talk. Also, why are you not ordinary?
Oh man, because my name is Timothy Clay. Like it's that simple. I mean, I'm Timothy Clay. There's some other Timothy Clays out there. I've Googled it, obviously, and to my surprise, many of them that I see on Google are amazing. Some of them are doctors. Some played in the sports realm. So, yeah, man, just so grateful to be in the space with LS, brother Philip, yourself, Sifu. This is not ordinary, just on a great Friday, us coming together as leaders, coming together as individuals that want to serve and pour. That's not ordinary. It takes a special internal being to want to consistently come together for the betterment of society, humanity. So yeah, I'm truly ecstatic just being here. Shout out to brother Jose, who I know is normally here, and to be able to sit in and fill the role of his seat today as the co-host. Hey, I'm feeling super extraordinary and definitely not ordinary. So thank you, bro.
That's awesome. Well said.
Yeah. So put your link in the chat so I can share it.
Absolutely.
So
I am so ordinary, right, guys?
Yeah.
I mean, for me to so somebody said to me, you were standing on the table, right? I'm like, no, I was on a chair. He goes, from my point of view, you look like you were standing on the table. I'm like, okay, whatever floats your boat. But yeah, I was on the chair. So for me, I realized a very long time ago, because I'm a people watcher. I love people. I am one of those crazy people that I will look at anybody and I will observe them, because people are so dynamic, so extraordinary. They're beautifully made, and it doesn't matter your shape, your size, your color, your gender. It does not matter to me. If you do something, I'm watching you. I'm watching you. So,
big brother.
I'm your big brother for sure. So, and it's not, I'm not judging you. That's the difference, right? I'm not judging you. I am watching to learn from you. And I learn from every individual. I see a little kid pick their nose. They're teaching me something. What are they teaching me? I shouldn't do that. I see a little kid be nice and hug somebody else. I'm like, oh man, that's beautiful. That's love. That's shared experience. For example, the other day, I have a new student, right? She's got to be 7.5. And she's learning how to do a back break fall. And her little sister, who's 3, is sitting there, and I'm talking to her dad, And she sees her little sister, and she's like, runs off, and her dad's calling her, come back, come back. And I'm not doing anything. I just want to watch the interaction. Her sister's on the floor about to do a break fall, and her sister just comes over and gives her a hug and gives her a kiss. And I said to her dad, I said, it's okay. Because he thought I was going to get mad because she ran across the room, right? I said, it's okay. Look how beautiful that is. I said, that's golden right there. You can never replace that. So he said, thank you so much. Because when somebody shows genuine love, we should never stagnate it. Mm-hmm. And that girl that got the hug is very shy, very timid, barely speaks up. And then to have somebody come over and say, I see you. A 3-year-old say, I see you and I love you. That was beautiful, because a minute prior, I said to her dad, because they're brand new, I said, why is your daughter here? And he looked at me, he goes, what do you mean? I said, why is she here? Why is she here today? He's like, oh, she came for class. I said, no. Why is she here? What made you decide to bring her to me? He goes, well, she's very shy. She's this, she's that, she's the other. And I said, okay. I said, listen, she's doing phenomenal. She's doing really great. And I see she shuts down and she gets a little nervous. I said, but I'm here to help her, right? So when we think about another human being being ordinary, no such thing, right? You go to the hospital and you see 30 babies who were just born. None of them are ordinary, right? They have their unique cry, their unique finicky, and all these different things. Everyone is unique fingerprints. That's what makes us not ordinary, right? We're not cookie cutters. We may look the same. If you see 30 babies wrapped up in blankets, they may look the same, but man, are they uniquely made.
I'm really glad you said that. That goes with what I talk about. You know, first time I ever heard Les Brown was in 2022. Didn't know who he was. Didn't know a lot of this world. And he says, there's greatness in you. And I thought, okay, I'll accept that. But the more I thought about it, it's like, what is that greatness? And I realized it's the value that's inside of you. And everybody has value, and that value never runs out. It's not like energy that you have a bowl that you pour into other people. You have to go fill your bowl up and then you can pour in. That value is inside of you. And anytime you give even a little bit of your value away, you get so much more back into you. So you never, ever run out. And it's that value that makes you enough and that makes you worthy. All of that together is what makes you enough. And that's why you matter. Because there's never been anyone like you before. Because only you have made the choices you have made. Only you have acted or reacted to the choices that others have made that have directly affected you. There will never be anybody like you. You matter because only you can draw from what's inside of you. And that's what people want, is what's inside of you. What is it inside that makes you valuable? And it's all of your life that you've lived. People think they don't have value. They think they're not worthy. I thought I'm 60, just about 68, so it was about 64 years. I thought I was not worthy of anything. And I realized that I am. But it took somebody saying, wow, somebody thinks they're not worthy. How can you think that? You know, and it's just years of garbage in. Now I got to get the garbage out.
I've trained twins. If they didn't move, you could not tell them apart. But their actions told them apart. Oh my goodness, did their actions ever tell them apart? They sound the same. You know, if you didn't know, you would say you confused this one for that one. But their actions really spoke louder than their words. And so when we think about we went into this ordinary thing and we realized that no one is really ordinary. Let's talk about the extraordinary impact that each human being makes and the extraordinary impact that you are making. Because Philip, I met you I've seen you on the calls on CLA calls and so forth, but we did not get to know each other until we got to get into each other's world, if you will, right? And then Coach Teo, you and I have been doing this dance for a long time now, and man, dance is only getting better. And LS, you and I too have been in a mix of rooms and conversations and all these things. I'm a contributor to your incredible magazine, so thank you for that. But each one of you is doing something unique. So tell us about you and what are the extraordinary impact that you're making in the world, because I think that I'm going to just hold it up for everybody to see, right? Yeah, there you go, right? Ta-da. Yeah, because every one of us is Guinness record holders. We all broke the record, 142, and Coach Theo Clay said something really impactful this morning. I'm going to let Coach Theo Clay take it away and then tell us your impact as well, my friend, my brother.
Yes. So we were talking earlier, and when Sifu gave the actual number, 142, I was like, 142, 4, 1 is 5, and 2 is 7. And I said so much every single day, depths of my spirit.
He actually has that quote in the book.
Yes. All we need is 7. 7 is God.
Yeah.
You know, my grandmother told me a long time ago, and it just stuck with me, Philip LS. She said, God's number is 7, grandson. That's the special number right there. Always remember 7.
Right
And
there.
sure enough,
All we need is 7. 7 is God. Right in the book.
What page is that on, Sifu?
Oh man, I just lost it. I will find it for you. 239, page 239.
Yeah. So the extraordinary impact of that alignment. Just I didn't walk in the room. I'm sure you all didn't walk in the room thinking it would land on 142, but it did. And I remember talking with Emilio, brother Emilio, and he even said it. He was like, T.O., one thing I know you always say is all we need is 7, and 7 is God. He was like, I think that right there, brother. And I was like, absolutely, that's it. That's it. That's probably the highest form of what I could even think to say in the book in terms of legacy and ink. So and in terms of that's it, man. That's what I love. I always think, man, when I think of you, LS, I think about Big Mo, Sharon Thomas. He loves you so much.
He's wonderful.
He loves you so much. And shout out to him today, because
He's awesome.
when we talk about you, LS, it's near and dear. Like it means it's I can't even make it up. It's like, man, we love you a lot, LS. And I think it's something special in LS, TO, and just all of these initial first names. Like it's just a lot of alignment. So yeah, Sifu, man. I want to hear from these two, Philip
Wait,
and LS.
before we shoot it off to them, right? What extraordinary impact are you making in our world? Oh, I know it, but let's let the audience know.
Okay. Man, I'm gonna be honest. I impact, one thing I do know is I impact with authenticity, just being my ordinary self. To me, as LS was speaking about, I really believe in the light that we all possess, Sifu. And if I'm at the grocery store, if I'm out taking a walk at the park with my family, whatever, I've seen the magnitude of giving our best concerted effort of shining our light. I've seen it. and I've also seen the other aspect of that, not shining my light, and that law of reciprocity just you kind of attract what you are, you know. And uh, I know that's something that I bring every single day, and it's simple. It's not high powered, you know. In this age of AI and all the magnificent things that are happening across the globe, to me, as old school as my soul is, I just love the simpleness of, man, and my thy brother, you know, sister's keeper, you know, am I exerting the camaraderie that I was taught as a Marine, and as a preacher's kid, you know. Just I heard LS say she's 68. I'll be 50 in a couple months, and I'm grateful for that. And I'm growing every single day, just trying to shine my light to a better degree. I want God to say, "Well done, my good and faithful servant," man.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be tomorrow, that could be 100 years from now, whenever the Lord decides to, you know, tell me it's my time. But I want to leave that legacy in ink like we did in Philly on this past Saturday. So to me, that's simple, but that's what it is, Sifu.
Yes, sir. Love it. Thank you. Ellis, let's go with you. Extraordinary impact. What do you do?
Wow. I actually had to have somebody else tell me what I did because I didn't realize that's what I was doing. So I actually do two things. Back in 2022, I did a 5-day mastermind with, sorry, what you said, Coach Tio, just really touched me. You have no idea how much I needed to hear that. But I was on this mastermind, and one of the things we were supposed to do was, what's the one thing that you've done all of your life? And if you're not sure, go ask your family. So I kind of had an idea of what I did the latter half of my life. But I thought, I'll go ask my brother and sisters. And when they messaged me back, I actually talked to my brother on the phone. My sister and brother both said, you've always encouraged me. And I thought, that's good. I get it. I've been an encourager. I love doing that. But what my brother said to me shocked me. He said, from the time you were very little, you have always encouraged me. And I thought, what? This bratty little sister who was mean, who took things that she shouldn't take, who tattled on you and lied and all of this, the terrible things you do when you're a little kid. And I encouraged you. And I thought, wow. So that's something I've done all my life. I just didn't know it. Recently, I had some added to that. And that's that I give hope in everything I do. Now, somebody said to me, hope is the nice thing you say, but it's not tangible. And I said, oh no, hope is very tangible. Hope is what gets you out of that darkness that you're in. Hope is what pulls you forward when you're not sure which direction to go. And hope is what keeps you going 1 second to the next second when you don't think you even have half a second left inside of you. So hope is very real, very tangible. You may wonder if it's the light at the end of the tunnel or a train coming, but you've got hope that there's light there, that something can happen. And to be able to give the encouragement and the hope to others is far greater than anything I personally could ever do. People need hope to keep going on. They need to know that that story inside of them needs to be told and to not be afraid. And even if you're afraid, I always say, fear is like a hologram. Big, scary, in your face, but it can't hurt you. So you just step right through it. And you just take one step at a time and go from there. And I guess that answers your question.
Yes, thank you very much. Really, really. I believe that you didn't realize you were helping me while you were, right? And the fact that you realize that you're giving people hope is it's extraordinary, because people sometimes lose hope. And meanwhile, hope has always been there. Hope has been cloaked in front of them. They just didn't see it, right? So thank you for doing that. Philip, your turn, my friend. So what extraordinary impact are you creating in the world?
I just got to say, Coach LS, you guys just absolutely nailed it. Leaders are dealers in hope. And you guys are great examples of that. Sifu, you as well. I love hanging out with dealers in hope. And you guys are great examples of that. I love it. It reminds me of the Sifu. I think you mentioned this actually at the event, but the story of the boy on the beach picking up starfish, throwing them in the ocean, and the old guy comes out and says, "You can't make a difference. What are you doing? You're wasting your time." And he bends down, he picks one more up and throws it out and says, "Yeah, but I made a difference for that one." And that's really what we're talking about here is it's not about making this great, big, grand difference in the world. It's about making a difference for that one. And then making a difference for the next one. And that's, I think what we're all really talking about is our goal is to just make a difference for that one. And, with the victory framework, with what I do, watching the light bulb come on when somebody finally understands that they have an identity bigger than what they thought, that they have a purpose in life, that they are put here with a mission, and they start to get clear on that purpose, and their vision for the future changes. It creates that hope piece. God said, "My people perish for lack of vision." And as leaders, it's our job to inspire, to provide information and inspiration, and to help walk people through that process, whatever it happens to be for your particular industry, but giving them hope and helping them take those steps to see the hope to fruition, to change their lives. Because the reality is that their life is supposed to affect other people's lives. And so if I can help you reach your potential, there's lives that are going to be affected because you reach your potential. And that's really the goal, is to help those people who are stuck. They don't understand their purpose. They don't understand their identity. Their character isn't where it should be. They don't trust people. They haven't done the hard work on their heart to really heal or grieve or learn how to forgive. And all those things are paramount to being successful in life, to being able to have confidence, to step into their purpose and live the life that God's called them to live and do what God's called them to do. So that's really what I do. And I think that's really what we all do.
Yeah. I can't take credit for that story. It was somebody else, but thank you for thinking it was me. So look at that. But I'm going to take credit for telling you that kid, if he didn't take the starfish and throw one at a time, we probably wouldn't have SpongeBob SquarePants, because that's Patrick we were talking about.
That's good.
That's awesome.
It might have been somebody else, but he threw Patrick back in there, and Patrick is so grateful. And while you were talking, I did a little drawing of Patrick, right? So it's very interesting. So when I don't want to take the credit away from somebody who actually did say that story, but I've heard that story so long since I was a young kid, but it makes so much sense because we're impacting one person at a time. Maybe we're impacting only one person who's on the live with us now. And that's incredible. And for example, who gave us a heart? Daniela Roman gave us a heart. And let's see who made a comment. Daniela Roman. Hello, beautiful people. So all that matters is not the whole world, but the person who's in front of you. And God said to me, you have to make a difference in people's lives. So what you need to do is help people in any capacity that they need. So yes, I help people with speaking, communication. I help people with martial arts. I help people in building because I have a wood shop. I teach people how to do things, how to create, how to become instructors, how to become leaders. And the reason I do that, it's not for me. It's because he told me to. I'm following his guide because I know when I do hit the pearly gates, I'm coming in style, brothers and sisters. I am coming in style. I am going to come and I'm going to be super happy that I followed the guide of you must help people. And so if anybody knows me, that is my mission. That is why I do what I do. And people say, how on earth do you do what you do? I don't know. That's not important. I just know I have to do it.
Yeah.
That's the importance.
That's awesome. I just want to comment on the sea star. Sorry, it's the Aquarius in me. They're sea stars. They're not starfish. They're not fish. But the very next morning, you see, my granddaughter and I, we do Bible study every morning. And the very next morning, there was that quote and another quote for something somebody else said that day. Both of them were in the Bible study and who said them. And I thought, that's a lesson we need to really hear and pay attention to. And I love that you brought up your faith. You know, people think faith is religion. It's not. Faith has nothing to do with religion. Everybody has faith, but what do you have faith in? Do you have faith in yourself? Do you have faith in this other person over here? Do you have faith in God? And who is God to you? That faith is deeper than hope. Hope is a good place to start, but that faith gives you the action to be able to move into that hope. And I love that 142 people who all have faith, different religions, but we all have faith. We were there for a purpose. And when that announcement was made and we had to wait until he said the final number, he goes, it was 126, now it's 142. The room exploded and we celebrated. And there was so much love and so much energy and so much camaraderie there. It was just incredible, like nothing I've ever experienced before. But that's how it should be. When we come together, we are there to lift each other up. As Jose says, one wave lifts all ships. And that's what we were doing. We were all being lifted on the wave. And we're still reaching out to each other. We wouldn't be here today if we weren't lifting each other up.
Not at all. Not at all. I got to say, one of the key ingredients to being 142, you had to take action to be part of that. You had to be uncomfortable to be in that room because nothing came easy. You had to leave your house. Some people came earlier. Some people got there on Thursday. Some people got there last minute. But it still was pressure, if you will. And the pressure was, I'm going to do whatever it takes to be here. Now, don't get me wrong. Not everybody was there. Now, we did miss some people, right? But everybody has their reason for either being there or not being there. And the people who could not make it, they're still in my heart. They're still in my mind because for some reason or another, it wasn't their call. And that's okay, right? But everybody who was there felt the energy. When the room came alive, that was super powerful. I want to share something with you guys because we're doing an event that is super powerful. And I got to tell you, Coach Tio is a huge part of it. Take a look.
The city never sleeps, and neither do the dreamers who build its pulse. From every corner of the globe they come. Visionaries, creators, leaders, each carrying a spark ready to ignite the world. This is not an event. It's a revolution of rhythm and reason. A symphony of minds. A movement of momentum. Sifu Rafael, Lancelot, Jose Escobar. Together they set the stage for brilliance. This is the NYC experience. Mastermind, light up the city. They coming from the east, coming from the west. Knowledge on deck, put the truth to the test. Leaders in motion, hearts in sync, dropping wisdom so deep it'll make you think. They bring stories, sweat and flame, different faces, one shared name. Elevation, that's the sound. NYC experience mastermind, where purpose is found.
Woo! Man, that song just livens you up, right?
That's fun.
Absolutely. So it's September 25th through the 27th. Please join us. Go to New York's NYC mastermindexperience.com. Get your ticket. They're like dirt cheap. Can you imagine you go to an event? How long does it cost? And I said you have to take the time. It's going to be painful. But the whole thing, and I said this to somebody recently who went through a lot. That was a good magic trick, Philip. You were like, poof. That's what happens when you use a green screen, right? So when we consider the pain that people go through, the question I always ask, was it worth it? And for people who go for something big and they're in a lot of pain, they know the outcome is worth it. And I said that recently to a young man, and he was crying because I wouldn't let him get out of this position he was in. And he was looking at me like, man, Sifu, I hate you right now. I said, you get up, you go home. You don't get what you deserve. So it's your choice. I'm not making it for you. You either do what I'm telling you or you go home with nothing. He chose to stay. And at the end, when the tears dried up, I said, was it worth it? He goes, 100%. And he's super happy now that he went through it. But sometimes the pain is all we experience, but we don't experience the end result. But we have to have a vision for the end result. So think about it. The vision is Atlanta, September 25th through the 27th. The reality is you're going to go through pain because you have to leave your house. Who isn't comfortable at home in their own couch? Get to the refrigerator anytime you want. Get the cookies, get the whatever, right? That's comfort. But to become great, you have to get uncomfortable. And whether you come to our event or not, what are you going to do? I know that Philip cannot come to the event because he's going to be where? Nigeria. He's making an impact. Tell us about that, my friend.
Oh man, it's a wild event. It'll be my third trip back. Somewhere around 2014, 2015. I did some business with one guy, and he said, "You got to meet my brother." And so we jumped on a Zoom call together, and I had this great conversation, kindred spirits, brothers in the Lord. And we just connected on such a deep level. And over the years, we built a friendship. And every year, come January, February, he would come to me and he would say, "Philip, please come speak to my people. Please come." And I'm like, dude, I don't know, man. Nigeria, that's kind of, that's a tall order, dude. And I said, eventually, after so many years, I said, okay, tell you what, I'll do a virtual. And so for a few years, I did virtually some of his events. And then January of 24, he asked me once again, Philip, please come speak to my people. And it was like the Holy Spirit just spoke right through the camera, looked me right in the eyes and said, hello, it's me asking, are you going to go now? Are you going to obey me now? I'm like, oh, gulp. Okay. Sure, I'll go. And it was one of those moments where you say yes to what God wants for you, and you have no idea how you're going to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
And it was literally like within a week, I had one of my previous clients call me and say, hey, I'm working on something and here's what I think. Can you handle this? I'm like, yes. And it ended up being the biggest single contract I had done ever. And it came right on the heels of yes, Lord. And that is what funded my trip. Without that, I wouldn't have been able to go. So I had to go through the process. I went, I spoke, and the next year I came back, and it was my second trip there that God kind of really slapped me upside the head and said, look, I didn't call you to wear a tool belt. I called you to use a microphone. Now go speak. And he dropped the victory framework in my heart, and everything changed from there. And so now I get to go back a third time, and it's called Marketplace Apostles. My brother's name is Uche Onochi. He runs this whole thing. And his vision is to raise Nigerians out of poverty through biblical free market principles, with teaching Nigerians how to build, make, and create business and industry, how to solve problems, how to think critically, how to provide service, and to do that through biblical free market and raise Nigerians out of poverty. I said, yes, I can get behind that. Let's do it. And so he runs this every year annual event called Make in Nigeria. And he floods the stage for a week with all kinds of value and teachings. And I come in and I'll do a couple of sessions, and such amazing impact that he's doing through that system. And then he's got a bunch of other projects and lots of books. And it's just an amazing thing that he's doing that really aligns with my mission to help others step into their purpose. And so it's just a really, really neat event. You get to meet all kinds of amazing individuals and really make an impact for that one, right? And it's an incredible experience.
It is. I got to tell you, I don't know about LS and I know Coach Tio and myself, but I got to tell you, I don't like the fact that you're going there alone and you're not taking us with you. So the next one, you let us know and we will not let you go alone. How's that sound? Tell your friend that you have friends who want to come and be part of this event, because if the impact is bigger than us, then it's worth the while. So I know Coach Theo, you're in. LS?
Woohoo, I'm going to Nigeria.
But we can't do it without your interception of how would you like to tell your friend and say, hey, how would you like if I brought some good friends of mine, and we made a bigger impact? Not that yours is not big. I'm not saying it isn't, but it's a different point of view, right? So I'm just saying, I just don't like you going alone, brother.
I'm never going alone.
I just got us on a trip, guys. So just start packing your bags for next year.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you, Philip. Like, you know, I'm not sure if you know, but I was in the Marine Corps for over 2 decades, and I've seen a lot of places. But a desire that I have, and it's going to happen. I don't know how, I don't know when, but my desire is to go and speak, because I know so many pastors, like you said, apostles and individuals that have experienced it, and now I'm learning it from you. Just that experience of why God, and then when you get there, you like, yes, God, I now I understand my assignment. It's bigger than me. So yeah, like Sifu said, bro, hey, I'll help you with your luggage. You know, I'll do a few things. You know, if you need a Marine security with you while you're out there, hey,
Oh
I'd
yeah.
be more
So
than happy.
as far as security goes, this is wild. So Uche is friends with the brigadier general, the highest ranking military officer.
Yeah.
And now I have him on WhatsApp. I could call him right now.
Wow.
And when I go, I literally have a military police escort
Oh man.
my entire trip.
That's it.
Nice.
Like they pick me up from the airport, and it's a front car, it's a follow car. We're in the middle, and these dudes are in full military
Yeah.
camo. They got their AKs sitting in the front seat.
Yeah.
You know, you got the truck
Wow.
up front with 6 guys in it, and
That's
they
real.
pull up to these checkpoints, and they just blow right through. They got their lights on, and it is the craziest feeling. I'm like, who the heck am I to have, like, I pull up and they won't let me carry my own bags.
I'm going to tell you who you are.
Yeah, that's what I was
Oh,
about to say.
I know.
I mean, you know, 100%.
I'm going to tell you, just
You
in
know.
case anybody's listening, you're God's gift.
That's
Yes.
That's who you are. But keep
You're
going.
there
Sorry.
for that one, like you said.
Uh, because I
each
said
one
yes.
teach one. Each one teach one, man.
Because I said yes.
It's powerful, man.
See,
Here I am, Lord, send
you
me.
said yes to this, to being here with us today, because now you just got an invitation. You don't even know it yet, but it's coming, right? Because you are going to do that as well.
Man, that'd be a dream come
That's
true.
why we
bro.
hang out together, man.
I'll tell you, it's the craziest experience to go there. And my first trip there was so surreal. Pulling up to the venue, and the driver looks back at me. He says, "Don't get out of the vehicle until I open the door." I wouldn't let me carry my own bags. He parks, he gets out of it, comes all the way around, opens the door. I come around the vehicle, and as soon as I take a step, it's these great big oval, circular staircase going up to the entrance to this venue. And it's covered in red carpet or green carpet. I can't remember. But as soon as I took a step on that carpet, out that front door was a mass of people with phones and cameras and lights. And it's like
Wow.
being in front of the paparazzi. And I was not prepared for that.
Right.
I'm like, okay, what do I do? Do I pretend they're not there? Do I like wave hello? Do I just ignore them, or do I smile? Do I stop and take pictures? Like, I don't know what to do. This is crazy. I was like, I was not prepared for that experience, and the whole trip was just, I was treated like royalty. And it gave me a glimpse of who I am in Christ, that I am a child of God. I am son of the King Most High. And in that, I have authority, And this is what I teach in the victory framework. When you're clear on your identity, you know who you are, and you know the authority that you carry because you know who your daddy is, you can hold your head high and you walk in the room with a different level of confidence because you're clear on your identity. You're clear on your purpose. You have a mission, a vision, and a set of values that are clear, and they all gel together, and it creates that foundational confidence so that you can step into your purpose and do what God's called you to do. And that's where I'm at. That's what I'm teaching. That's what I'm encouraging people to step into. It's a blast.
LS. So when I went to a Miss American pageant, and this was the wave that they had to do. So LS, when you get off on the red carpet, this is it. This is the wave. That's what all the pageant.
That's all the adoration.
But so considering everything that we've done in our lives, we're not done because there's so much more to accomplish, so much more. And by the way, it's I love hanging out with all you bunch of youngsters. You know, at 104, you know, I'm still learning. I'm still trying to get more stuff going. But it's every day. It's a chance to do that, to impact, to. But I think the first person we have to impress, if anyone, is us, right? Ourselves. When we look in the mirror and we go, what is my purpose today? What am I doing? How can I help? How can I serve? How can I first you got to serve you, right? Number one, you are making that impact on the number one person in the world, and that's you. And then once you can do that, then you can go and spread it, right? But if you don't make the impact for yourself, it's going to be very hard to help anyone else because you need more help than everybody else. But as long as you go first, right? Take the oxygen tank, right? You go first. Then you can save others. And then the way we save others, by showing them how much they are worth and the beauty they carry. And it doesn't matter what you look like, because guess what? Love is blind. Love is blind, right? And if we were all blind, we wouldn't even judge each other. I wouldn't judge you of your color of your skin, your body, anything. We would just listen with our hearts.
I think I need you on my mirror every morning.
I'm there. Yeah.
And I do. I have little sticky notes on my mirror. I've got a verse in Deuteronomy. In fact, that 2 days ago, the Bible study we were doing, my granddaughter says, "Oh, that's the verse on your mirror. This is the second time I'm hearing this today." Go, well, maybe you need to listen to it. And it's about God going before us, preparing the way, you know, taking care of us. So, you know, going to New York, there were so many, or to Philadelphia, excuse me, there were so many things that could have gone wrong. There were many things that did go wrong. But I was talking with Austin this morning. He asked how I was doing. He knew a couple of things that had happened while we were there. And I said, you know what? When it rains, it pours. But even during the storms, there are so many beautiful things that happen that we need to acknowledge. And they never would have been there if we hadn't had the storm. We would have missed out on so many things.
Oh, yeah.
We had a taxi driver who was so kind, so polite and helpful. And it just really touched my heart. It's like, okay, this is what the city of brotherly love should be. And I asked him if he would be in my book, Strangers. I don't quite have the title yet, but it's Meeting Strangers. And we have to remember that we are strangers to other people that have never met us before. So the things we think about strangers, people are thinking that about us. because they don't know us. The one thing I love about these events that we go to, especially like that one coming up in Atlanta, is a lot of us are strangers, never really knowing each other, seeing each other on a call or something like this. I mean, Coach Teo and I really haven't met each other. He hasn't got one of my big hugs, or haven't become a sandwich between him and somebody else called my Ella sandwiches. But I know when we get there that it's not going to matter that we're strangers, because instantly we're going to be family.
Yeah.
Maybe not family like brothers and sisters, but there's a connection there. And I love that. And you've got to make that connection. You can't just be afraid all the time. And you have to be careful. I mean, there is a reason they call it stranger danger. But don't be so afraid that you never reach out. I was really lucky. My grandfather used to say, I've never met a stranger, only a friend I haven't known before. And if you go to Ontario, Oregon, on one of the bars, it's an Irish bar, and it has that saying on the wall. I've never met a stranger, only a friend I haven't met before. And taking that attitude is amazing. My husband used to be horrified and embarrassed that I would talk to strangers in line at the store. And I go, why? We're all standing there. We're totally bored. We want the line to go faster. It's not going to go faster. So let's enjoy the time we have together. And my husband talks to strangers. And the first time I saw him do that, I was like, whoa, what just happened? But it's beautiful to see people that aren't afraid, to help out. You know, and sometimes our paths only cross just for a moment or two. They don't have to be forever. But it's that moment or two that really ignites that spark that keeps you going.
You know, Ellis, one of the things that I say to people that I don't see on a regular basis is I say, listen, don't be a stranger. Be strange, but don't be a stranger. Right? It's okay to be strange, right? But don't be a stranger. Let me share one more video with you guys. Take a look.
You followed the rules, tried the restrictions, counted the carbs, the steps, and the failures. You're not lazy, you're exhausted from doing it all without real change. What if the problem isn't you, but the plan? Sifu's Mind-Body Method is a 90-day transformation built on 7 unshakable pillars: mindset, movement, nutrition, hydration, fasting, journaling, and faith. This isn't another shortcut. It's your structure, your strength, your reset. You don't need harder, you need better. Ready to begin? Start today.
That's it. Start today. Don't wait till tomorrow. Because guess what? Tomorrow never comes, right?
That's awesome.
So as we wrap this up, what's a takeaway you would say that you got from last weekend, last Saturday? And it doesn't necessarily have to be from the event itself. It could be prior or it could be after. What would you say? Anybody can go.
Relationships are key. It's all about who you associate with.
Nice.
Something I say a lot is if you hang around bank robbers long enough, you're going to end up driving the getaway car, right? Hang around millionaires long enough, you're going to end up driving the Lamborghini. Who you associate with determines where you go.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Getting in rooms like that, building relationships, a lot of the biggest breakthroughs that people have are not in the event itself, but in the conversations, in the moments, in the hallway or at the restaurant or outside the event itself, those are some of the most transformational relationships, transformational moments, and impactful situations that we can find ourselves in.
Yeah. I typed in on Google, is Coach Timothy Clay in the Guinness Book of World Records? And the AI spit it back out. Yes. On
Nice.
such and such date, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And I was like, man, that's pretty awesome, man. But it's being obedient though, because the enemy's always going to come with, like you said, unless the storms are real. And I think about Peter. I have me and my youngest son, he's 12. We're sitting at the kitchen table. And one thing my parents did for me, they ensured I read that word, man. Even when I didn't want to, you can't go outside and play basketball until you read your word. And I would read the same Jesus wept, because that's like the shortest one in the whole Bible. Jesus wept. So I'd read Jesus wept. I'm done, and I'd run outside. So with my son, I like sitting with him, and he'll read the whole passage. And he read about Peter walking out, and when he took his eye off the Lord, and the Lord extended his hand back out. And I asked my son, Philip, LS, and my brother Sifu, I said, man, what does that mean to you, what you just read? He's 12, man. We've all been 12 before. So, kids say the darnest things. And he was like, well, Peter was kind of stupid, because why would he take his eye off of Jesus? And I must not laughing. And I was like, wow, man. I said, everything you experience in life, that's what it's going to be. So here lately, he'd do certain things, and I'm like, Peter. And then and he's like, oh, wow. So for me, man, it was keeping the eye on, like we said, the connections, man. And we said it earlier on Unified Leadership, being in a space with people you really love, man. That's so important. And it's the connections, man. Those connections are powerful, man. So yeah, bro. Keeping the eye on the real prize, man. That's why we could talk to people in the store that we don't know. That's why we can move about in these different spaces. We could travel overseas. You put us anywhere, we're going to do God's will, man. So whether that's Philadelphia, whether that's Atlanta, Georgia, wherever we show up, man, we're moving with God's speed. So for me, that's the biggest takeaway, brother.
Even if you want to stay home and join an incredible event that's happening August 21st. Coach Tio and I are hosting this event. It's the Unified Leadership Summit, and it's a virtual event. You can stay at home. And the cool thing is, it's 7 hours of leadership. What? It's like a university packed in one day. Look at that. Who doesn't want to not only be impacted? Nobody's going to sell you anything. Nobody's selling you anything. All we're saying is, come join us. Click on the link, unifiedleader.com/summit, and make sure to get your ticket, because guess what? If you miss it, you miss it. Like anything. For those people who missed this past weekend where we were all together, you missed it. Your name is not, you can't type your name and say, in Google, am I one of the Guinness World Record holders? It's going to say, no. What happens when you show up? There's rewards if you do show up, right? So, thought I'd share that.
Absolutely.
But we are done. So what I would love for everybody to do is 45 seconds, give us an idea of why somebody should connect with you. And because you're a young lady, Ellis, you get to go first.
Awesome. So Here's a good example. I wrote this about my relatives from their point of view. Scared to death, didn't want to do it, didn't know how to do it. Tried 3 different times and it wasn't working out. And I took a break. Next day I tried again and I got it. And what it did was open up a door. So now I know how to ghostwrite for people that were asking me, and I had to give them to someone else. So don't be afraid to take that one step. You have a story inside of you. You have a message you want to tell, and you need to know who to tell it to. Can't be to everybody. Just pick that one person. And there's a difference between a travel agent and a travel guide. Travel agent will get you your tickets so you can go anywhere you want to, and the hotel, all of that. But a travel guide has been there before, has gone through it, knows the places to stay away from, the places to go to, the places that are going to give you the experience that you want. That's what I am. I'm your travel guide.
Ooh, love that. Love that. Thank you, LS. And your website is going across the bottom. Everybody just make sure to go check her out. And thank you for sharing part of that story on stage the other day. I mean, that was powerful. Thank you. Philip, you're up, my friend.
Man, I love helping people discover what they're called to do.
Yes.
I love helping people discover who they are. And if you're unclear in those areas, if you're feeling stuck in your business and you're like I was not too long ago, struggling to say, well, I've built this business, God, but I feel like you're calling me over here. I don't know what to do. And making that jump can be scary. And if you need encouragement or help in figuring out what it is that God wants you to do and how and when and why, I'd love to help you through that. Come join me at the Victory Training Network, where community is key. And man, I'm just excited to help people discover what they're called to do and who they are. So if that's you, come find me at philipbritton.com. If you're looking for somebody to come speak at your next event to help inspire your audience, I'm all for it. I love it. Workshop, keynotes. If you're looking for that help individually, I do one-on-one coaching. iwantvictory.com or philipbritton.com. Email me at philip@philipbritton.com.
Easy to find. I love it. I love it. All right. Thank you, buddy. Coach T.O. is in the house. You got 45 seconds, brother.
45 seconds. I am a son of God. I'm not my past. I am chosen. I am fearfully and wonderfully made, designed with purpose, not by accident. I am loved deeply, forgiven fully, and accepted completely by my Heavenly Father. I am a leader, a protector, and a builder of legacy. I bring strength and stability to my family and community. I'm becoming the man I was created to be, healed, whole, and walking in truth. My name is Coach Timothy T.O. Clay. I help individuals develop as leaders in the home, the workplace, the community to the best of my ability. And we do that via the light pillar framework. What is light? L is love. I is intellect. G is greatness. H is health. And T is truth. And within those 5 pillars, with God Almighty on our side, we can't go wrong. It's that simple. So if you watch this today, if you listen to this today, trust me, you're in the right place. Go back and watch this. Listen to all the things that have been discussed and said. So much love in this space right now. So much passion for what it is that we do, we serve. And I'm at 49 seconds. I thank you, Sifu and Jose, for allowing me to be here. Much love to you, Philip. Much love to LS. I love you all sincerely.
Absolutely. Love all of you guys. Listen, we only bring exceptional people to the show. We've done that every single episode, and this one is no exception. You guys are exceptional for sure. I'm easy to find. I'm SifuRafael.com. That's it. Can't get easier than that. And my mission in life is to help you become the best version of you, whether it's through speaking. Yes, I will speak in any country as long as I can inspire, right? So I am telling Philip that we will join him because we don't want him to be alone. But if you need any one of us to come to any other country, just reach out. Reach out to any one of us. Reach out to one of us and say, bring your friends. Because guess what? Coach Tio and I, we do unified leadership, and we do that everywhere we go.
Mm-hmm.
This is Heroes Rising, guys. In Heroes Rising, we don't stay alone. We bring people with us. So thank you, everybody. God bless you. Have an incredible rest of your day. And don't forget, God loves you deeply.
Thanks, Sifu. Always a pleasure, man.
Yeah, brother.